Okay, so let's start. So last class we have started logical inference. Okay, so what is logical inference? Can you tell me? What is logical inference? This anybody?
স্যার টোটোলজি এক্স্যাক্টলি মানে আমাদের হইতেছে প্রমাণ করতে হবে এক সাইড যদি আমাদের হচ্ছে ট্রু থাকে অন্য সাইডটা আমাদের হচ্ছে কি করে ট্রু করতে হবে
Right,
সেই
right,
বিষয়টা
right. Very good.
Valid argument.
Valid argument. Yes, logical inference is nothing but valid argument.
Valid
That
argument.
means let's assume x square equal to 9. If I second line write x equal to plus minus 3, then whenever x square equal to 9 is true, that time also x equal to plus minus 3 2. So this step is valid. Valid. This step is valid. Another name of this valid step is logical inference. You people are right. Logical inference, right. Or logical implication. You are people are absolutely right. Now, my question is, let's assume P and Q are primitive statement. Then P and Q are primitive statements. So what is primitive statement? They can take the value of true or false, not both at the same time, but they can take both. Not both at the same time, but they can take true and false both. Now, assume P and Q are primitive statements. How can you prove P implies Q is a valid argument? How can you prove this one? Yes, please. Assume
To
P
prove
and Q
it's a
are,
tautology.
you have to prove it is tautology. So whenever you prove it a tautology, what happens? If this one is 1, this one is 1, then what happens? It becomes tautology, right?
Yes.
So
ইয়েস স্যার
somehow, if we can prove this one is a tautology, then what happens? If P is equal to 1, Q does not have any other option than becoming 1. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Because if it this
Yes,
one
sir.
1 and this one 0, then the whole things become false. It would become no longer tautology. Am I right? So somehow, if we can prove this implies it's tautology, then actually the left side and the right side becomes 1. So using that time with the value of left hand side, we can prove the right hand side. Okay, done. Very good. And whenever it becomes tautology, we no longer use this arrow, we use this symbol.
Double arrow.
E double E. Yes, right. Now, this one, the left hand side, it is called hypothesis. And this right side, this is called conclusion. Now, let's assume here my hypothesis consists of only one premise. Because on the left hand side, there is only one primitive statement. Am I right? On the left hand side, there is only
Yes, sir.
one primitive statement.
Yes.
That means there is only one premise, and that only one premise consists of hypothesis. Am I right? But now take a situation. Instead of only one premise, I have n number of premises. We have P1, P2, dot up to Pn number of premises. Okay, guys. if there are n number of premises, so how can you prove, how to prove Q out of this all premises? Out of this n premises, Q is still only one conclusion. But instead of having only one premise on the left hand side, we have n number of premises. So out of this n number of premises, how can I prove this conclusion? Tell me. Guys, please. Please. Can you listen to me? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So how can I prove out of n premises the conclusion?
Sir, Q is 1 over the truth. So
Go over here. What we have did here. So again, we have to connect it to
again,
implies.
it's by truth table. So if it's P is 1, so Q is automatically 1. So we can prove it by.
No. You didn't understand the question. Here I have only one premise on the left hand side.
Yes.
Now I don't have only one premise. I have n number of premises on the left hand side. So still I want to prove Q using this n premises. So how can we join this n premises? And there, right? And there. Because why we are joining using and? Because if any of
Sir,
the
and
premise is zero,
And
if the left hand side is zero, left hand side is zero, then what happened? It is
Zero.
then
right side
no.
zero. Yeah.
Let's see the truth table. P Q P plus Q. 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 1. Somehow, if the left hand side is 0, then actually automatically P plus Q becomes 1, and that is out of importance. Am I right? If you want to prove something,
Yes,
if
sir.
you want to prove something using another thing, if the thing you considered that is false, then there is no question of proving. Am I right? Then there is no question of proving. It is actually out of the equation. So if left hand side is 0, then it is unimportant. It is not important. So we always consider so that left hand side altogether is 1. Left hand side altogether is 1. Now, how can we join n premises so that left hand side is always 1? When all the premises 1? Definitely using
And
and. Right. Okay, definitely using and. Then actually all these are 0, all these are 1. Then the whole things become 1. Okay, now
okay, sir.
this one, the single, this one is called premise. And all together, they are called hypothesis. And this one is called conclusion.
Conclusion.
Then you know how can you prove this one? You have already told me that, sir, we can draw a truth table. We can draw a truth table. Using that truth table, we can prove it is a tautology. It is a tautology. Using the truth table, we can prove it's a tautology. It's a tautology, then we are done. You people are right. But what's wrong with proving using table? What is wrong?
Sir, I have a problem here. Like, how can we prove that it is a tautology when, like, there are two possible outcomes? Like, tautology means the outcome will always be true, right? But
Yeah,
here,
so outcome of implies is always true. Outcome of implies is always true.
but when we get P, like the hypothesis to be 1, the
Yes,
conclusion can be 1 or 0, right?
yes,
Yes.
yes.
But
So let's go to the example. We have already given an example. We have already given an example. See, last class we have already given you an example.
yes, sir.
Go over there. Wait, go over there. P is Disha studies discrete mathematics. Q is Disha plays Ludo. R is Disha fails discrete mathematics. These are my primitive statements. Then out of these primitive statements, I come up with compound statement, not Q implies P. That means if Disha does not play Ludo, she studies discrete mathematics. Number one. Then P implies not R. If Disha studies, she will not fail discrete mathematics. Finally, not Q. Disha does not play Ludo. And I have to prove using this, that this one is my conclusion. So not Q implies P and not P implies not R and not Q implies not R. We have to prove this one. And then actually we come up with actually the truth table. We come up with the truth table. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
We come up with the truth table and the truth table says it's a tautology. The
Yes, sir.
truth table says it's a tautology. Truth table says it's a tautology. I understand your question. His question is, sir, if PQ are primitive statements, then how can you prove it's a tautology? Am I right or not? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
If P and Q are primitive statements, then how can you prove tautology? Because this one is all should be always there.
Yes, sir.
That's why these are not primitive statements. Those are compound statements. Remember? So here those becomes compound statement. My premises become compound statement. Did you get it?
Yes, sir. Now I
So
got it.
some of the entries in the truth table are dropped because of that one. Okay?
Yes, sir.
It's a good question. Wonderful question. Yeah. So we are done. So we have to use truth table. But what's wrong with truth table actually? What's wrong with truth table?
It has too many outcomes and
It has too many outcomes. For example, if I have three primitive statements, 1, 2, 3, how many entries in the table?
there are
2 to the power 3 equal to 8.
8.
If I have 4 primitive statement, 2 to the power 4. If I have 20 primitive statement, 2 to the power 20, and it's a very, very big number. But we do not need to do all those things because if you see, somehow if the left side is 0, if somehow the left side is 0, then this implies automatically becomes 1, no matter what is the value of the conclusion. So that is not our importance. Our importance is only when the left hand side is 1. And when a left hand side can be 1, when all the premises are 1, because we have connected all the premises using AND. Okay. If any of the premises is 0, then actually, because we are connecting using AND, the whole left hand side will become 0. So only importance is when all the premises 1 and their connection with AND becomes 1. So in this case, only important point is this one, where everybody is 1. Did you get this point or not?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
Sir, one
Okay.
question. Yeah,
Yeah.
in that phrase, sir.
Yes, sir.
So just in case if there was no truth table such as like all of them are 1.
Yes. Then it is a tautology. It's a tautology. It's a tautology. No problem with that one. It's a tautology. Yes.
Okay.
And that's a valid argument. Yes, you are right. That is a valid argument. Okay?
And sir, like
Yes.
what if all of them are 1 and the final result is not 1, like final result is 0, then it is not a tautology, right?
It is not a tautology. Of course not. By definition of tautology, it is not tautology.
Okay. Yes, sir. Confusion clear. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Nice questions. Now, actually, we are doing little bit of problems. So remember, like mathematics, we always remember some formulas. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So why do we remember formulas? Can you tell me? So then,
we can
whenever we encounter a problem, we can use those formulas
to simplify them.
to simplify them, or whatever we want to prove. We are trying to prove those using those formulas. Okay, so formulas are important. Formulas are shorthands. Using those formulas, we can easily prove new theorems. We can prove our problems. The same way, logical inference has some formulas. We always remember those formulas, but definitely you can prove those formulas as well. So let's start with logical formulas, logical inference formulas. Okay. So my first logical inference formula is called modus ponens. Modus ponens. So my first one is called modus ponens, or the law of detachment, or the law of affirming. So what is the formula? If P and Q are statement, P and P implies Q, so did you get it? This is the formula. So how can you prove this one? How can you prove this one? This. How can you prove this formula? Modus ponens. Guys, please tell me.
Truth table দিয়ে স্যার।
Of course, you can use truth table. Is there any shorthand? Is there any shorthand or not? Somehow we can prove shortly this one or not. When this one become false, tell me.
This becomes false when
When P is 0.
P is 1.
When the right hand side is 0 and the left hand side is 1. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That means Q is 0. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now if this one is 0, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Then is there any possibility to make this part 1?
No স্যার।
No, of course there.
Yes, sir. There is.
How?
P has to be
Making P equal to 0.
P equal
You
to
want
0.
to P equal to, as the, now Q is 0, you have to make the whole left hand side is 1. Now this Q is 0. Now to make the whole thing up to this P implies Q1, we have to make P also 0. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Then if this P becomes 0, then definitely this one is not 1. This one is 0. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes sir।
only actually analyzing 1 and 2, we are understand this one is true. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir।
Logic. Instead of doing all the ones, we are trying to find out when it would become 0. And then we have seen becoming 0 is not possible. So definitely it is 1. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
But tell me, what does it says? It says P and P implies Q is logical inferring to Q. So let's give you an example. Let's assume P is it rains outside. Q is who is our example. Who is our example?
Disha.
Disha. Disha is our example. So Disha misses classes. Then what is P implies Q? What is P implies Q? What is P implies Q?
It is rain. It
No,
rains outside.
implies if it rains
If
outside.
it rains, Disha misses class.
If it rains outside,
then
Disha
Disha
misses
misses classes.
classes. Then according to this formula, what is the meaning? According to this formula, it rains outside,
Outside and
and if it rains
outside,
outside,
then Disha misses classes.
and Disha
Misses
misses
classes.
classes. So and what is our conclusion then? According to this formula, Q.
Disha misses
Our
classes.
Disha misses classes, and it is very,
Classes.
and it seems very logical. At first one we said, if it is raining outside,
If it is in
if it is raining outside, Disha will miss classes, and actually it is raining outside. I keep this, mute yourself. So at the first premise, we says if it rains outside, Disha misses classes. It is actually raining outside, so that Disha misses classes. Is the conclusion clear to you guys?
বুঝতে পারছি স্যার
Okay.
যদি বাইরে বৃষ্টি হয় তাহলে দিশা মিস করছে ক্লাসটা এটাই আসলে অ্যাকচুয়াল বিষয়
Yes, sir.
No, actual thing is if that's the condition there. If it rains outside, Disha misses classes. Now my condition is actually true. That means it is raining outside. So definitely Disha will misses classes. So this rule is called modus ponens. Okay. Now let's go to next one. Somebody did not mute. Somebody did not mute. Please mute. Yes, please.
Sir, so basically, this this modus rule or modus formula.
Modus ponens. There is another modus rule. This is modus ponens.
Modus ponens. Okay, so this basically implies that there has to be one statement and one implication, right?
One premise which is actually simple statement,
Yes.
and another is implication. Yes.
And another
Then
implication. And
yes,
both of them has to be like joined by and
joined by and. Always we join all the premises by and.
Okay,
We have already seen that one. Yes. Then
and then the final answer.
final result is the whatever the right hand side of the implication. Yes. True.
That implication is true.
Yes.
It is a tautology.
It's a tautology, right? And you can prove. We have proved it. Yes.
Sir, can you just repeat the zero section? If Q is 0, P is 1, this section once more, like it would be
Okay. I understand. So when it is become false, when it becomes false, tell me. When implies become false. Only that is 1 and 2 implies become false. False. Am I right? What is that entry?
implies become false when left side is 1 but right side is 0.
Okay, that means this right side is 0 and left side is 1. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now if the left side is 0, Q, the Q is 0. Am I right? And the whole thing is 1. Now if you put here Q equal to 0, definitely you have to make this on 1. Am I right? If you don't make this on 1, then whole thing becomes 0. Am I right? So how can you make this part P implies Q1 when the Q is 0? You have only one option, P equal to 0. Now if P equal to 0, if you put here 0, then again the whole thing becomes 0.
Okay.
So no longer it is possible. So it is 0 by 0, it is 1.
Basically, we are working with the statement that might not be possible.
That
of
might, that is we are working with that statement which might break this
Okay.
statement, and we have seen that breaking is not possible. That's why it is always true. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this thing can also be written this way. The left hand side is written like this: P implies Q. Then the right side, before writing the right hand side, we write a straight line and we put three dot this way, three dot this way, and then we write the right hand side. Did you understand? Left hand side P and P implies Q. There is no joining here. We think there is a joining, and finally drawing a straight line and write three dot Q. It is also another representation. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's go to another rule that is called law of syllogism. And by the way, of course, you can prove it using truth table as well. But truth table is so heavy for that. Now let's go to law of syllogism.
But sir, in this like shorthand form, isn't there a
Yeah.
possibility to miss out like for large number of data? Isn't there a possibility to miss out?
No, there is no miss out. We are going to do that now. If you always remember that left hand side is above the straight line and right hand side below the straight line, that means conclusion is just after the straight line. There will be no miss. Same thing. If you are careful, but rather it is more convenient to write this way. We are going to see. Don't worry. Now, the law of syllogism. So what is the law of syllogism? Law of syllogism says P implies Q and Q implies R is tautology to P implies R. Did you get it? P implies Q, Q implies R, logical equivalent to P implies, logical inferring to P implies R. So P implies Q, Q implies R, P implies R. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
So let's take our previous example with Disha. Disha is our actually guinea pig. It rains outside. Disha
Misses classes.
misses classes. Let's give another one. Disha will play Ludo. Then what is P implies Q? What is P implies Q?
If it rains outside, Disha misses classes.
If it rains outside, Disha misses
Classes.
classes. What is Q implies R?
If Disha misses classes, she
If
plays.
Disha misses classes,
She plays Ludo.
she plays Ludo. Then, according to this formula, what is the conclusion?
If it
P
rains
implies
outside,
Q.
If it rains outside, Disha
Disha
will play
plays.
Ludo.
Okay, so if P implies Q and Q implies R, then what is tautology? P implies R. So conclusion would be P implies R. What is P implies R? If it rains outside,
Rains outside, Disha will play Ludo.
It rains outside. Disha will play Ludo.
Disha will play Ludo. So very, very logical. It seems very logical. So again, you can prove this one using truth table if you want, or
Yes, sir.
you can take how it can be broken away. Then you will see it is not possible. So it is a tautology. Now let's go to next formula.
Or wait.
Okay. Done. Done. Okay, now let's take this. Modus tollens. What modus tollens says, P implies Q and not Q, logical implies not P. So P implies Q, not Q, not P. Okay. Using truth table, definitely you can prove this one. Is there any other alternatives you can prove this? Is there anything else you can prove this?
The same thing that we did before.
Yes, using truth table it is possible, and using this one is 0, and that is also possible. Is there any other way?
No idea.
Okay, see. P implies Q, right? What is the logical equivalent formula for this using contrapositive? Not Q implies not P. Do you agree with me or not?
Yes, sir.
These two are logical equivalent. Am I right? Done?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you write not Q, then what happen? Apply modus tollens. Let's consider this is my P, this is my Q, this one is P. So what is the form? P implies Q and P. So what will be the conclusion? Let's consider P equal to not Q, Q equal to not P. Then what would be the conclusion? This one is P.
P equal
This
to
one is P, this one is Q. So this one is nothing but P implies Q. And P is also true. According to modus ponens, what would be the conclusion? Q. Q. And in this case, what is Q? Not P. Did you get it?
No, sir. Can you repeat again?
P implies Q. Then what is the contrapositive of this?
Not Q.
Not Q
Q
implies
implies
P.
not P.
Not P. Now, not Q is also true. Then what would be the conclusion? Just consider this line as P implies Q. It is same like P implies Q. And in this case, Q is nothing but, not Q is nothing but P. So what would be the conclusion using modus ponens?
Not P. Oh, this one. This
One is
Q.
P. For this formula, the output is P. Am I right? But if you go back to original problem, what is my P there? Not Q. Did you get it?
No, sir. বুঝতে পারতেছি না।
Just replace this.
But sir, replace করব কিন্তু like আমার contrapositive-টা কেন আনলাম?
To prove this formula, modus tollens. To prove this.
Oh, acha. Got it.
Just we know that not Q implies not P. Take not Q equal to P, not P equal to Q. Then whole thing become P implies Q. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Then not Q is also P. We know that not Q is true from here. And using contrapositive, we know this one is true. Am I right? Now, if we apply using modus ponens, then what would be the true? Q. What would be the true? P, right? Q. What would be the true? Q. So what is my Q? Q is nothing but not P. So not P. Is it clear to you? Just
Yes, sir.
replace the formula. Replace. Done?
স্যার দুইটা এক্সাম্পলের মধ্যে কেমন একটু কন্ট্রাডিকশন মনে হচ্ছে আমার মানে
There is no contradiction. It is true actually. You can prove using truth table if you want.
না স্যার, আপনি লেফট সাইডের এক্সাম্পলটা দেখেন। লেফট সাইডের এক্সাম্পলে not q equal to not p, right? Which gave final answer to be not p. আবার রাইট সাইডের এক্সাম্পলে দেখেন not q equal to not p, ফাইনাল এক্সাম্পল আসলো not q। বুঝলাম না, দুইটার মধ্যে লাইক দুইটা তো একই জিনিস, তো আউটপুট ডিফারেন্ট আসলো কেন?
See, P implies Q. What is the contrapositive of this?
Not q equal to not p.
Not Q equal to not P. And we know that not Q is true. Am I right?
Yes sir.
Now, using this and this, apply modus ponens. What would be the answer? See,
Not
see,
P.
not P. Yes, see. Whenever P implies Q, what is the original formula for modus ponens? P implies Q, P. Then this P cancel out, we remain Q. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now in this case, this Q cancel out, not P.
Not P.
Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
I made the analogy between this so that you people can understand. For making the analogy, I say let's consider P equal to not Q and Q equal to not P to make you understand. Okay?
এটা ঠিক
না
ছিল।
স্যার, আসলে
আপনার
বিষয় কি
রাইট সাইডের এক্সাম্পলে দেখেন, আপনি লাইক মানে হয়তো লেখার সময় ভুলে নট পি এর জায়গায় নট কিউ লিখে ফেলেছেন, তো ওই কারণে কনফিউশনটা আরো বেড়ে গিয়েছে।
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yes.
এক্স্যাক্টলি, এই কারণে বেশি কনফিউজ হয়ে গিয়েছে।
Yes. Thank you very much. Good point. Yes. So this formula is called modus tollens. Thank you. Yes, if people are careful. Thank you. Then let's go to next one. It is called the law of disjunctive syllogism. The law of disjunctive syllogism. So what is the law of disjunctive syllogism? P or Q and not Q, P or Q and not Q is logical equivalent to P. So how can you prove this one? See, P implies Q. P or Q, it is nothing but not Q or P using double negation and commutative. Right? Not Q is nothing but Q, and I write Q first, P second. Now this one is what? This one is nothing but not Q implies P by definition. Am I right?
Yes sir.
Now we know not Q is true. Now again, if we apply modus ponens,
একটু উপরে নিলে ভালো হয়।
if we apply modus ponens, then this Q cancel out, we get P. Did you get it? So we are done. Right?
Yes sir.
Okay. Now let's go back to our original problem. We want to prove this. Disha studies discrete math, our previous problem. P is Disha studies discrete mathematics. Q is Disha plays Ludo. R is Disha fails discrete mathematics. We consider not Q implies P. That means if Disha does not play Ludo, she studies discrete mathematics. P implies not R. If Disha studies, she will not fail discrete mathematics. And not Q is Disha does not play Ludo. We want to prove using this and this equal to not R. Disha does not fail discrete mathematics without using truth table. So Here we are trying to prove not Q implies P and P implies not R and not Q implies not R without using truth table. We have already proved this using truth table, but now we are not going to use any truth table. We are using logical inferencing rules. So how can I do that? Tell me. Is the problem clear to you? Yes. Which rule I should use first?
P implies not R.
P implies not R. With okay, this is the first rule. We are going to use with what?
Not Q implies P.
Then what do we get?
Then একটা কিছু পাবো সেটার সাথে আমরা স্যার হচ্ছে
সেই একটা কিছুটা কি ব্লাইন্ডলি বললে তো হবে না। We'll get something, but what is that একটা কিছু? What is that একটা কিছু? What rules you are going to use?
0 or 1.
What 0 and 1 are you talking about? We are not going to use any truth table. How about this? Not Q implies P and P implies not R. So PP match. So not Q implies not R by the law of syllogism. Do you agree with me or not? Agree with me or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now not Q is already there. So what do we get? Not R. Done. By modus ponens. Got it? Do you agree with me or not? Done?
Yes, sir. বুঝতে পারছি।
Good. Always remember, don't say any vague words. Whenever you are doing any logical step, on the right hand side, you will say which rule you have used. Okay? So I'm going to list all the formulas of all the very important formulas in logical inferencing. So let's have this chart. First one. First one you already know. What is that called? What is that called? Modus ponens. What is modus ponens? P and P implies Q, logical inferring to Q. Number two, the law of syllogism. What is law of syllogism? P implies Q and Q implies R is logical equivalent to
P implies R.
P implies R. Number three is modus tollens. What is modus tollens? What is modus tollens?
P implies Q
P implies Q,
and not Q
not Q,
implies not P.
implies not P. Super. My number 4 is called the law of
Disjunctive syllogism.
disjunctive syllogism. What is the formula?
P or
P-
Q,
P or Q and
not Q.
not Q, logical implies to P. Now let's go to next one. The law of conjunctive simplification. So what is the law of conjunctive simplification? P and Q logically implies to P. On the left side there are two terms. On the right side there is only one term. That's why it is called simplification. And as left side is connected with conjunction, that's why it is called conjunctive simplification. Is it clear to you guys? Left side there are two primitive statements. Right side there is only one primitive statement.
So
That's it is a simplification. But
left side is joined by and.
joined by conjunction, that's it is called conjunctive simplification. Now let's go over here. The law of disjunctive amplification. It is something like this: P, Q, sorry, P implies P or Q. On the right side, there are two terms. On the left side, there is only one term. That side is amplification because we amplify right side. And right side is connected with disjunction. That side is called disjunctive amplification. Okay, guys? The law of contradiction. So what is the law of contradiction? Not P implies contradiction is logically equivalent to P. So what is the meaning of this? Something false. If you consider something false, which leads to always contradiction, then what would be the conclusion? Something wrong is always, something false is always false. Then what would be the conclusion?
False.
Something
Come on. Are you ready? Something false is always false. Then what would be the conclusion?
that,
Sir,
that
true
it
হবে.
can never
No, think this way. Think this way. It does not rain outside. It is false. Then what would be the conclusion?
it rains outside.
So that's why P. Clear? Logic is not some sort of alien language you are thinking. Logic is very logical. Okay? Got it? Now let's go to number 8. The condition of proof. The condition of proof law, which says P and Q, and P implies Q implies R. Then it is nothing but R. Okay? Then let's go to number 9. The law of cases. P implies R. P implies R. Q implies R, which is nothing but P or Q implies R. Now go to 10. The law of constructive dilemma. The law of constructive dilemma. So what is the law of constructive dilemma? P implies Q, R implies S, and P or R, which is nothing but Q or S. And there is a last one, which is called the law of destructive dilemma. It says P implies Q, R implies S, not Q or not S, which is not P or not. So these are the all formulas. Okay. So these are the all popular formulas. You can use these formulas direct in your inference problems. And remember, all these formulas can be proved using truth table as well. Do you have any question? You can ask me.
স্যার এই যে ফর্মুলাগুলো আছে ঠিক আছে, আমরা যখন
Yes.
ফর্মুলাগুলো ইউজ করবো, এই ফর্মুলাগুলো ইউজ করার পাশে কি আমাদের এভাবে লিখতে হবে যে মানে কোন ফর্মুলাটা ইউজ করতে
Yeah,
হবে?
you have to mention. Otherwise, it would become very difficult to find out which formula you have used. You should, yes. Should we do another problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do the last problem for logical inference. Then we'll start our new topic. Our as usual example is with Disha. Our as usual example is Disha. Okay. So what is P? What is P?
It rains outside.
No, Disha studies discrete mathematics. What is my Q? Then what is my R?
Disha fails discrete mathematics.
Then let's say S. Disha's mother scolds her. Do you know what is scolds meaning?
Yes, sir.
বকা দেয়া।
Yes. He is
Disha cries.
Disha cries. পাঁচটা is more than enough. আমি ইয়াটা প্রবলেমটা সাজাই নেই, আমাকে একটু সময় দাও, few minutes.
Yes, sir, sure.
প্রবলেমটা বানাচ্ছি তো। Okay, let's do it. My first statement is P implies Q, which is nothing but if Disha studies discrete mathematics,
Sir, P implies not Q হবে। অথবা P implies not R হবে।
না এটা আমি যে কোনো কিছু লিখতে পারি, বাট আপনি যদি এটা চান ঠিক আছে ফাইন, আপনি যদি ওটা চান সেটা আমি
না হলে মেক সেন্স করে না, মানে বুঝতেও
আচ্ছা মেক সেন্স করে না, আচ্ছা 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 ঠিক আছে, মেক সেন্স করে না আসলে। প্লিজ রিমেম্বার, মেক সেন্স করুক বা না করুক, লজিক ইজ ব্লাইন্ড। ওকে, লজিক ইজ ব্লাইন্ড, লজিক ইজ অনলি লজিক্যাল, রিমেম্বার দিস। বাট অ্যাজ ইউ হ্যাভ, ওকে ওকে, আপনি যদি ওটা চান ঠিক আছে, আমি ওটাই দিচ্ছি, নট কিউ এমপ্লয়েস পি। আমি আপনাকে ওটাই দিচ্ছি, আপনি যেটা চাচ্ছেন।
ওকে স্যার।
তাহলে তারা প্রবলেমটা একটু পরিবর্তন করবেন। ওকে ঠিক আছে, আপনি যেটা বলবেন সেটাই হবে। ইফ দিশা does not play Ludo, she studies.
DM.
Okay, so my second one is P implies not R. If Disha studies, she will not
Does not fail discrete mathematics.
she will not fail discrete mathematics. Very true. Then not R implies not S. If Disha does not fail discrete mathematics, Disha's mother
Will not scold her.
does not scold her. Disha's mother finally হচ্ছে not S and not T. Disha's mother does not scold her and Disha does not cry. Prove that, prove what? Prove that আচ্ছা এই লাইনটা একটু চেঞ্জ করে দেই, চেঞ্জ করে দিই, এটা একটু চেঞ্জ করে দেই, এটার দেই হচ্ছে এটা, নট কিউ অ্যান্ড নট টি, একটু কঠিন করলাম। দিশা ডাজ নট প্লে লুডো অ্যান্ড দিশা
Right.
does not cry. Prove not S. That means Disha's mother does not scold her. How can you prove this? Tell me. That would be my first step. This. So this is true, this is true, this is true, this is true. Using that one, you have to prove this conclusion. So what is the meaning of this? It is something like this. It is something like this. আমি এখানে খুব সাজায় দিয়েছি, ওকে। I put the statements very organized way, okay. In exam hall, the solutions might not be in very organized way. Remember, they might be jumbled here and there. Then you have to pick those statements in the organized form.
Sir,
Yes.
when will our exams happen exactly? Do we know
It
yet?
is not. No, it is not decided yet.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
But after Idul Adha,
Oh.
that's for sure. Okay, guys, how can you prove this? How can you prove this? Let's take this one. Not Q implies P, and P implies not R. What can we write using syllogism?
Not Q equals not R.
Not Q implies not R using syllogism. Then again, not R implies not S. What can we write using syllogism?
Not Q implies not S.
Not Q implies not S. Now, not Q and not T. What can we write? Using disjunctive simplification. Not Q and not T. Right? Go over there. Go over the formula. The law of conjunctive simplification. The law of conjunctive simplification. Left side, there is 2, right side, there is 1. So left side, there is 2, right side, there is 1. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Conjunctive. Now, not Q is true and not Q implies not S is true. So what would be the conclusion?
Sir,
Yes.
can you just wait for a few seconds because it's totally blurred right now.
Okay, okay.
স্যার একটা জিনিস বোঝাবেন
জি অবশ্যই।
স্যার হইতেছে বিষয়টা এই যে আপনি যে পিকিউ আরএসটি ধরলাম দেন যে আমরা হচ্ছে এগুলো লিখলাম নট কিউ ইমপ্লাইজ পি এগুলা কি জাস্ট স্যার নিজের মতো করে ধরবো নাকি কোন রুলস
আমি একটা প্রশ্ন বললাম আর কি I have invented a problem.
ও আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে
I have invented a problem. This is my whole problem. I have invented this problem. This is like the problem. You have to prove not S. If this one true, prove this one. Is that clear to you guys?
ওকে স্যার
It's like a problem I have invented. নিজের মতো না. Definitely, I'm going to invent a problem which can be proved using law of inference. Okay. So you have to come up with solution. Is that clear to you guys?
Yes, sir.
স্যার
Okay.
আমাদেরও কি স্যার ইনভেন্ট করতে হবে লাইক আপনি কিছু একটা দিন
Now, why you are inventing the problem? It is my duty to invent the problem. Your duty is to solve. Your duty is whatever I want you to prove, that is proof. Proving that one. It is your duty. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
let's come back here. Not Q is true and not Q implies not S is true. So what is the ultimate true? Not S. Done. Did you get it? Did you get it or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ইয়েস স্যার
Using what? Using modus comments. All right, so this is the end of discussion about logical inference. Now, today we'll start a new topic that is called the quantifiers, use of quantifiers. Whenever we'll do a quiz, you people are getting very clear, okay? Quizটা নিলেই বোঝা যায় কি ধরনের কোশ্চেন আসতে পারে।
Sir, but ওই কুইজের জন্য তো মানে প্রিপেয়ার্ড হতে হবে লাইক একটা
আমি
sample-
নোটিশ দেব। I will give a notice that that day there will be a quiz.
স্যার বাট এখানে আমাদের তো এখন অনলাইন বেসড কুইজ রাইট তো দেয়ার মাইট বি সাম ডিফিকাল্টিজ এন্ড অল লাইক আমাদের আপনার এন্ডেও কিছু প্রবলেম থাকতে পারে আমাদের এন্ডেও কিছু প্রবলেম থাকতে পারে So isn't it better যে আপনি মানে একটা কুইজ স্যাম্পল কুইজ নিলেন বাট সেটাকে গ্রেড না করলেন?
না হবে, there will be a demo quiz, don't worry.
Yes sir, thank you.
There will be a demo quiz. Okay, now let's come back here. New topic. Logical quantifiers. X plus 2 is it a statement or not? Is it a propositional statement? Tell me, is it a propositional statement? X plus 2 is an even number. What is propositional statement? Propositional statement is
Statement propositional statement the variable count করবে না, right?
হ্যাঁ, সেই জন্যই জানতে চাচ্ছি, is it a propositional statement or not? Propositional
No, sir.
statement. Okay, so what is propositional statement? Propositional statement is readily it has a true value or false value. This value does not depends on anything. Am I right or not? But can you say this one is true or false? Can you say this one readily? Is it possible?
No sir.
No, because there is a x. Its true and false value depends on the value of x. So as its true and false value depends on x, readily you cannot say it is true or false. You have to plug in formula for x, then you can say it is a propositional statement. Am I right?
Yes sir.
স্যার যদি
So-
এরকম বলে দেখি s is a even number, then তো এটা হবে।
Then actually you have to plug in the value in x. Am I right? You have to plug in the value in the x. Just seeing this statement, you cannot have any conclusion. That's what I'm talking about. So these are called open statement. So what is open statement? Statements with free variable. Statement with free variable is called open statement. So this is a open statement. So how can you make this one propositional statement? How can you make this one
আগে
x is an integer. X is an integer and x equal to 5. Then 5 plus 2 is an even number. So now it becomes a propositional statement. Am I right or not? Then what is the meaning of this? 7 is an even number. And the truth value of this is false. Am I right?
Yes sir, it's 0.
Again, if you put x is an integer and x equal to 6, then 6 plus 2 is an even number. Then what's the conclusion? 8 is a
Even number is true.
it is true, which is true. Now it becomes a propositional statement. Okay, so now it becomes a propositional statement. So remember, whenever any variable is with a statement, that time it is called open statement, and each variable is called open variable or free variable. Okay, now let's take this one. We have to take your attendance, right? Just give me 5 minutes, then I'm going to take attendance. Let's assume x is an integer. What is integer actually? What is integer?
Whole number.
Whole numbers. We are going to study more about integer. Don't worry. So it is whole number. That means x belongs to, this symbol is called belongs to. That means x is a 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, so on. Okay. And we write open statement using this. It's a statement depends on x. So P is a statement depends on the value of x. Px, x plus 2 is an even number, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, for all x, is it true it is an even number?
No, sir.
So when it is even number, this one is true.
When x plus 2 divided by 2 is
True when x is an even integer. Am I right? Right?
Yes, sir.
That means x belongs to 0, plus minus 2, plus minus 4, so on. Okay? The original set, the whole set, the mother of all set from which x can take the value, that is called universe. That is called universe or universal discourse. Did you get it?
yes, sir.
All the values from which x can take values, that is called universe. And among all the values, for some values, this one is true. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So this one we can write this way. Sum x px is true. Did you get it? So this is called sum, or at least one. At least one. There is sum. So this is case. So this one, inverted E, that means sum. For some x, px is true. Did you get it or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is one quantifier. This is one quantifier. Another one, let's take this. X is an integer. That means x is. Okay, guys. What is universe? This one is universe. Now let's say qx is if x is an integer, then x square is greater than 0. That means qx is nothing but x belongs to I implies x square greater than 0. Greater. Now what happened? What happened to this statement? Is it always true? Is it always true?
Yes, sir.
Because we know that square of any integer is always greater or equal to 0. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Square number cannot be negative. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So it is a tautology. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So we can write this way. All x qx is true. This is also called all. Any. So did you get it? Two quantifiers. This is for some, this is for all or any. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
So should we stop here today?
Yes, sir.
Just wait a minute. Let's take the attendance.